Have you fallen down the cottage industry rabbit hole yet? Well, if not, buckle up, Alice, and click on over to the description in the show notes and sign up. Then you can get ready for the most fun induction into the cult of all things yarn and fiber. This will include, but not limited to, free yarn, free ebooks, patterns, coupons, and much more. You don't want to miss out.
You are listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts, a podcast featuring two crafty besties who love true crime and a good cup of joe.
Hey, amateur sleuths. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Heidi. I asked Kristen if she was ready, and she was like, shoot. And she did finger guns with one hand. Anyway.
Ready.
Word.
Yeah,
Another
so
day.
here we are.
A whole another day. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's it going?
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
Work's been busy. Work is extraordinarily busy. Kids are busy. Yeah.
Life is busy.
Life is hard. So I thought that we'd bring it to a one-parter episode, guys.
Ooh,
just simplifying life a little bit.
Thank goodness Kristen was like, let's just keep it short.
We need to slow it down a little bit. Did a lot of
big cases.
A lot of big cases recently.
Yeah.
So yeah. But coffee? Or do we want to do underrepresented?
Let's start with our underrepresented missing person. Today we have Nia Sandra Rash, Black female, missing from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Okay. Last date of contact was December 28th, 2022. Nia, not even long ago.
Well, a month.
Barely a month. Yeah. 25 years old, 5'9" to 5'10", 115 pounds.
Oh, very slender.
Yes. Let's see. The circumstances of disappearance. I don't know who they were talking to, who she was talking to. It says, I last spoke to Nia approximately 4 p.m. on December 28th, 2022. She asked if I wanted her that morning to do anything as far as chores because she couldn't remember. We chatted briefly about it, and I then asked where she was headed. She responded that she was just going to ride the bus, not to any particular place, but that she just felt like riding the bus. I then suggested in the future that she learn the bus route to a program she was just starting. She wasn't very talkative, but agreed she would. I told her I'll talk to her later, said I love you, and we hung up with one another. That was our last conversation. I'm assuming this is like maybe her mom. That's what it sounds like. Maybe she like went and helped her mom out a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe she was maybe meeting somebody that she wasn't ready to talk about.
Maybe.
And unfortunately, she probably didn't tell anybody about where she was going or what she was doing. And that's why this makes it harder to find her.
Yep.
Yep.
That's
sad.
She has black hair, brown eyes, no tattoos that I know of. So.
No identifying marks.
Yep. Nothing at all. So, yeah. If you know anything, the link is in the show notes.
Please reach out.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you for
Right.
that.
Yes.
I am drinking very hot coffee. Ooh, hot, hot, hot.
A little too hot. Don't burn your mouth.
Well, it's this cool mug.
I was gonna say
Hand warming mug.
What?
Yeah, my brother Ryan and sister-in-law Freya, they found this ceramics guy who makes
Nice.
these,
I want.
and he gave, or they bought some and gave each one of us one.
How cool.
Yeah, they're really neat, but that one's really hot today. I guess it's okay because it's like very cold.
Okay,
here.
but we need to get the guy's information because like that's a really cool mug.
Yes, I will reach out to my brother and ask him again. And I'm drinking a delicious coffee from Bones.
Kristen's favorite coffee.
It is my favorite, and it is my nickname. So it's very,
That's a good point.
very has a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So yeah. But this one is the Mint Invaders from Chocolate Space, and Heidi actually sent it to me. So
Yes.
and we love UFOs because we want to believe.
Hell, I mean, I do believe. I have
do.
seen, and I've seen a UFO out in the fucking desert.
We saw, remember when we were working Reds and it was late at night and your mom said, we were driving with your mom. There was like green flashes in the sky. You don't remember? Your mom probably remembers.
She probably does.
But I feel like we all saw it together.
We did see one
this is
for
like
sure.
25
camping.
years ago.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Camping in the desert for sure saw a UFO.
Yeah. I see lots of things. Oh, we saw the space shuttle.
I love that. Around Christmas.
I didn't get to see it as it happened, but David and Daw saw it at the same time.
That's
David was
so
calling
awesome.
me to go look in the sky, and Daw was outside, and he's like, "Come here, Chris, I see this." So I didn't get to see it, but they both got to see it.
Okay, now
I did see the part afterwards, though.
So I didn't know it was a thing. None of us knew it was a thing. We were standing outside, and sorry, Mom. My mom's calling me, but I can't answer because
My mom texted.
What is happening?
I don't know.
What is happening? We were all standing outside one night and it was like right before Christmas, and like our friend's kid was acting wild and crazy, and we were like, you better calm down because Santa's not gonna, get you any presents. And then we saw that in the sky and all of us were like,
what the fuck? Santa. It was Santa.
It was a moment for sure.
Sorry, I had to. My mom flew to San Diego.
Oh, all right.
Landed. They had to make sure she was okay. She had troubles earlier this morning.
Oh, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, there was that. And then yeah.
Craft. Art.
Well, I am going to talk about something because as we know, we celebrated my birthday and you sent me a new crafting thing.
I did.
Which my other needle things came, so now I can start it.
Yes.
When I have time and I'm not working.
Yes.
Because I'm working so much. But I'm going to show the world that you got me this cool thing. And then these are my extra, my stabby wabbies.
Yeah.
So I got extra.
If you ever need wool to stab, just let me know.
Yeah.
I know you have.
I know you have a very good amount over there. So when I figure this stuff out, maybe I can make canvases.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So that was that. But then over the holidays and everything. And this one, I just finished Ben and Heidi's painting, and it's very special and near and dear to my heart. And I think that you guys will love it. I hope.
We will.
But that is being shipped out not this weekend, 'cause
Eventually.
work, but eventually it will go out next week. And so the world will see it soon. That's what I actually worked on this week. But then I also had 19 other paintings I did in a matter of 3 weeks. And I know that our listeners, if they're following our Instagram and stuff, have seen a lot of the stuff, because I've been doing little videos and stuff. But
Yes.
I did a lot of creating. So painting, I'm really motivated right now. I have a whole bunch of series of paintings I want to do.
Hell yeah.
But the next one I'm going to do is I'm all set up to paint Edgar Allan Poe, because he is my favorite. And
Poe for show.
his birthday was last week, on the 20th. Is it 20th or 21st? Anyways, he would have been 214 years old.
Well, that's
But sadly, he died at 40. He had a tragic life. And if anyone is a Poe fan, you should go watch The Pale Blue Eye. That's the newest movie. Haley and I are going to watch it together when I get a moment, but haven't seen it yet. So
you'll get there.
Yes. So that's the creative stuff going around. I can't show any pictures really, because everything is gone or a secret.
It's top secret and I can't know anything. But
if you look in your video behind you, Heidi has a painting of mine, which is also embroidery thread, and it's California Poppies, one of our faves.
Hell yes.
There you go. There's some art for you.
It just reminded me, because you did so many landscape pieces for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And it just made me think. Last night we were watching this new show that we just started, and it's Homesteaders in Idaho. I don't remember what the show is called, but y'all, if it's on Discovery Plus, it's about homesteaders in where I'm from in Idaho, on the Salmon River, the River of No Return, Frank Church Wilderness. Anyway, that's where I come from, and I was like, oh my God, that's what I'm going to add on to my grandma tattoo.
Oh,
I want to get the Salmon River on my arm, and it'll fit perfectly right here.
Nice.
Anyway,
I love it.
I'm excited.
Yeah. I did do a UFO painting. That one was for my brother, Nathaniel.
Oh, cool.
I do enjoy the outer worldly stuff.
It's fun.
It is. So we did a lot of talking. Now we're going to do a little more talking. I have some trivia, because we haven't done any horror trivia in a while.
I'm so excited, because I'm going to get them wrong. Maybe.
But that's okay, because we're going to learn things together.
It's fine.
Or I already know them. But this one, I have not seen this one, but I have heard of the movie. I'm pretty sure it's B rated, maybe D rated. But this 2000 film is about two sisters named Ginger and Brigitte, who struggle with the idea that one of them is a werewolf.
Okay. One is a werewolf. Okay. Like a legit werewolf, or she just has like that disorder where you have lots of hair?
No, she doesn't have that.
I can't remember what it's called, but
I know what you're talking about. But no, the film is called Ginger Snaps.
my favorite cookie.
I thought you might like that one. So
Ginger snaps.
ask Ben if he's watched it.
I really doubt he has. He's gonna look at me like I have three heads, not just two.
Well, it's up his alley.
For sure. I'm gonna look it up for him.
So this little question is from my very first horror movie, and I was 8 years old, and I was having a sleepover at Ashley Richardson's house. I don't know why I remember all these details, but I do. That is a lot of details. Anyway,
I mean,
if Ashley somehow comes across our podcast,
hey Ashley.
hello. When we were 8, we watched this movie together with a bunch of other girls from school. And so, what is the movie poster tagline for the 1985 movie House?
I've never seen that.
It is a really weird horror movie. But the tagline is pretty silly and funny. Ding dong, you're dead.
All right.
Yeah. So, yep, there's that.
All right. Are you not supposed to answer the door? Or does the house just kill
the
people?
house? Yeah, the house, as I recall, is got supernatural stuff, and there's murders, and the guy gets stuck, and yeah, it's weird. What actor asks, "You mean there are snakes out there this big?" in the movie Anaconda? Do you remember who's in Anaconda?
Nope.
I can't. I'm not going to sing it.
What?
The song.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. It'll ruin me.
So,
I'm really bad with actors. Also,
let's just say he is better. Well, nowadays he's more known as an actor, but he started out as a rapper.
Sorry. Okay.
It's Ice Cube.
Ice-T would have been the rapper gone actor. Ice Cube, really?
Yeah.
Ice-T was the rapper gone actor.
Friday.
Well, yeah, good point.
Yeah. And he was in all those other, he's been in like the Are We There? Is it Are We There Yet? There's some movies. Anyways,
yeah.
Ice Cube.
I initially think of Ice-T.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think he's a little bit more my fave.
I do love Ice Cube though. So
yeah.
But I like his movies, but I really love his music. So there we go.
Yes. So there we have it.
Do it. Word.
All right. Trigger warnings. There's murder. We kind of sense that there's murder. There's also some children that are murdered. There's bludgeoning and beheading.
Oh boy. Okay.
But this is a historical massacre.
Okay.
Oh,
historical.
I forgot that I was going to read a quote, but I will.
You need to find it?
No.
It's
in that computer.
Oh.
Oh, I can get it real quick.
Hold, please.
Hold, please. Back.
Word.
Hello. We're back. So, I am here. I am going to. Back in the day, they didn't really have photos. They did drawings and stuff of everybody. So there
Right.
was a. This is about the Deering family murders,
Mm-hmm.
and a drifter by the name of Anton Probst. He had found himself in the U.S. during the Civil War in 1863. He was born in Germany 20 years prior in 1843, and many people from all over the world were fleeing to America in the late 1800s to 1900 due to crop failure and famine. They had issues with land shortages and also work shortage. So emigrating to the US, as we know, was their best option.
It was the thing
It was
to
new
do.
land, and yeah, during that time a lot of folks left Europe, and was it mostly Europe? I think it was mostly
A lot of Europe, yes.
a lot of Europe
And
moved.
because they
And
were
then
told
fortunately,
you could have
know,
this land if you volunteer to move, basically.
right.
So
Yeah. So like many others, Anton left his home, found himself on the East Coast. When he landed in New York, he joined the Union Army because recruits were being paid $300 to sign up. They needed volunteers before they did a draft. So they offered money. You sign up, you serve, you get $300, which was a lot of money for back then.
yeah,
And $300 is equivalent to over $7,000 today. So
I still wouldn't do it.
no. And they were trying to say this was for like the year.
Dude,
Yeah.
definitely can't live off that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get going more on the story, I am going to read something because it really hit home. And it says, the public may with certainty rely upon the truth of the statements we have given. It is an old proverb and a very true one that when a man or woman becomes famous, either for good or ill, that every action of their past life is duly dragged before the public and submitted to their inspection. Probst, our Anton guy, who until recently was only known to a few, is now one of the celebrities of the town, and his name is in everyone's mouth. And the smallest fact connected with him is now of the greatest interest. No one for the time being engrosses a larger share of public attention. Hence, these details will be eagerly read, and it is the duty of the compilers to make them as accurate as possible. Yeah.
Whoa.
So that really hit home because this ends up being in Philadelphia. And I know I'm bouncing around a little bit, but this came up. I wanted to do one from Pennsylvania because during the winter time, I was in Pennsylvania. And the day we were leaving, the Moscow, Idaho murderer was picked up and arrested minutes away from where we were staying. He was there all week while we were
God.
sledding. And
It's just wild to think that you could have crossed paths with that fucker.
he was in the same tiny little town we were.
That's so fucked.
And no, it just goes to show you, but nobody knew really who he was until
Yeah.
here we are.
We all know who the
Public
fuck he
view.
is
Now we
now.
all know who he is.
Yeah.
And that is my segue into the Deering murders, because nobody knew who this drifter was who ended up here and then all of a sudden is in the mouths of everyone.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, we put a lot of time and effort into these monsters. And a lot of times it's good, but it is also bad. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
here we are. So, Anton, somehow, he was able to sign up, get that $300. He went to boot camp for a couple weeks. Hello, ma'am. Can I help you?
Can you open this?
Why are we doing this?
Because I want to put money home.
Hold, please. Intermission.
Life of mom of girls. Nail polish.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love you.
I love you. Hey.
Hey, close my door so I can get through this. Thank you.
I'm leaving that in. That's so cute. Oh, so cute.
Now let's talk of murder. Sorry. Oh my goodness.
Oh.
So, Mr. Anton, he went to training. Few weeks went by. He deserted his post
Already?
already.
Wow.
And he picked up and he moved to a different city with his cash in hand. Once in that city, guess what he did?
Did he sign up
He
again?
signed up for the Union Army again. Got another bonus, another bounty. Like,
Wow.
you don't, like, he did it again.
Okay, but you could get away with it back then.
Yeah, because you could just go to another city.
Yep.
Nobody knew who you were. You have no papers. You're a foreigner.
Computers didn't exist yet.
So, but he didn't just do it once, twice. He did it over and over a few times.
Oh my.
But he had nothing really to show for it because he ended up penniless. Like, he found himself without any money in Pennsylvania in 1865. The Union Army honorably discharged Anton. He didn't actually see any action or war. He never fought in the Civil War, but he did manage to shoot his own thumb off. So now you've got a German immigrant that blew his thumb off,
and
he has no money because he could not save. He could not hold on to all that money.
wow.
He spent it mostly on alcohol and sex workers, of course.
I mean, he was just living it up with fraudulent money.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck did he get a fucking honorable discharge? That's
don't
where
know.
I'm stuck.
That's where I'm stuck because, I mean, I guess they let him go because he was volunteering to be there, and then he shot his thumb off. He couldn't fight anymore. He wasn't even like he never even fought anything. He just taking money.
Yeah,
Swindler. He was a swindler. So he's living on the streets and run out of money. Can't drink. Can't have prostitutes. So he found a posting for a job working as a handyman on a farm.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I hope he was more handy.
I don't, yeah. He didn't do much in his life. Let's just put it this way. Christopher Deering and his family were the owners of that said farm. And Mr. Deering hired Anton to help around the farm, fixing things and tending to cattle.
Sounds like a fun job.
Sounds like good, hard work, you know, but the Deering family, they didn't have a large farm though. And it was only a couple acres. They weren't wealthy, but they were happy and they could afford to to have things that they needed
Mhm.
for survival. So they were original homesteaders,
Yeah.
right? But they had so much work with the cattle and everything, and their horse and pigs and chickens. They just needed some help around the house. So Anton could live there, he could eat there. And I don't remember his original wage, but he only worked there a little while, because shortly after he started working, Mrs. Julia Deering, the wife, noticed how lazy and worthless he was.
Oh, he was
He
a
would,
really bad handyman.
yeah, he would hide in the barn in the hay and just have naps like all the
Okay,
time.
y'all. I understand that. Not his point, but I understand their point 150%. I hate to throw one of our old helpers under the bus, but Jesus Christ. Ben could see him from up in the lift, hiding behind the fucking chipper, texting. Bro,
Wow.
kid, what the? Yeah.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Can't work for us anymore.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Well,
That's bad.
instead of taking care of the animals and cleaning up the barn and tending to whatever needs the farm needed, he was laying around being a lazy bum. And when Mrs. Deering confronted Anton about the lazy work ethic, he cursed her out and said many uncomfortable things.
Narcissist. Sorry.
Well, Anton most likely called her a Zounderkite, which
I don't know what
was it's idiot, or gib face,
the fuck is
which
that?
meant ugly, but like really hideous ugly. I know, gib face.
I'm gonna start using that.
Or hedge creeper, which is a low class prostitute because you're hiding in the hedges waiting
What
for your next
the
John.
actual fuck? Wow. Hedge creeper?
So
Wow.
I say that they didn't actually have any terms that he used that he said to her.
Oh.
I went and looked up what was used as slang curse words back then. And
I love this.
I'm sorry if you hear yelling, but apparently my daughters are killing each other.
It's fine. They'll be fine. They always are.
They are, but they're like yelling over something.
I can't hear them. So
But during my research on slang of curse words back then, of what was deemed very, insulting, there was mutton shunter, which is a police officer who dealt with cleaning up the streets of prostitutes.
what the
I am a mutton shunter.
Apparently. God.
Jollocks was an overweight person. But my favorite of these terms is flapdoodle.
Flapdoodle.
Flapdoodle. It's a man who is less than competent in the bedroom.
Oh, I need write that down. Flapdoodle.
Flapdoodle.
Maybe I'll just text it to my mom. Flapdoodle. Look it up.
Look
I
it
have
up.
to tell her.
These are Renaissance terms. they're the curse words of the late 1800s.
Hell yeah.
So there's your little history on slang.
Thanks. I like that history. That might be the best history lesson ever.
Like, we can find different slang for each decade or generation.
I like it.
Yes, it was fun. So anyways, though, after the interaction, Mrs. Deering pleaded with her husband to fire Anton. And because he was a doting father and husband, he fired him. He only worked there 3 weeks. But Mr. Deering agreed, yes, you cannot call my wife a whatever the terms are.
Can't remember. That's how bad I am.
Zounderkite. Zounderkite.
That's just a really bad.
Or gibface.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Gibface. Don't be calling my wife a gibface. She's beautiful and birthed me all these children's.
Yeah. God.
So he was fired, and after being let go, he claimed he was in poor health. I think from the military. I don't know.
His 2 seconds.
Yes, but I think he used that so he could get into this charity hospital that was in Pennsylvania. So he needed a background story and be like, I need help. You must help me.
Right.
So it was in Pennsylvania. I think Philadelphia. So that was like the big city.
Right.
Near where they were. They took Anton in and they treated him, and he was there for 3 months.
Jeez.
Yeah. During those months, he devised a plan to return to the Deerings and rob them.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
He planned to rob the Deering farm out of necessity because he was broke as a joke, and for revenge. Revenge. Yeah. After leaving the hospital, he did just that. He returned to the farm. On March 2nd, 1866, he pleaded and begged for his job back, and even said he would work for less pay to make up for how lazy and rude he was. So Mr. Deering, having that heart of gold, he felt sorry for the German immigrant and gave him his job back and paid him $10 a month.
Y'all. Wow.
Yeah. So he also lived there and was fed.
Yeah. For the time, I guess that was.
I broke it down, like when you were working in the army for the Civil War, they were only paying like $13 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So,
jeez.
Yeah. But unfortunately, this would be the beginning of the end. Mr. Deering had no idea of the fate his decision would bring to he and his family.
I mean, how was he supposed to know? Honestly,
I know.
That's unthinkable. And knowing,
but all this man had, all Anton had, was his brain to think of ways to mess people up, and
most people trust other people. I am not most people.
I don't trust. But I don't trust.
Initially, people just trust other people, and I'm like, So I could see how they would take him back, but
yeah. So Anton worked harder. He did. He worked harder than he ever worked in his whole entire life.
All right.
And for a month, he had the whole Deering family believe he was a good, kind, hardworking, helping hand. Unfortunately, it was all a ruse.
Of course it was.
Yeah, because on April 7th, 1866, Anton saw his opportunity for action. So that morning, Mr. Deering went to town to meet a family friend or a cousin. throughout all my research, a lot of people were saying cousin, a lot of people were saying family friend. So I'm not really sure. But her name was Elizabeth Dolan, and she was 25 years old. And he was going to pick her up to come and stay on the farm for a little while.
Okay.
After Mr. Deering left, Anton went to work in the field with the other farmhand named Cornelius Carey. Anton brought with him the large axe they used to cut up tree roots. Yeah. It started to rain that morning, so the two of them, Anton and Cornelius, ran to hid under a tree to get out of the rain. Of course, as we know, it's not very good to go run under a tree in a rainstorm.
When there's lightning.
Lightning. Could have been lightning. But anyways, they went under the tree. Cornelius turned away from Anton, and Anton smacked him in the back of the head with the blunt side of the axe.
Ow!
He fell to the ground, and then Anton turned the axe and cut into his head several times. Before cutting his throat and beheading the young man.
Oh my God.
Now, this was outside, and apparently nobody saw or witnessed this.
Well, you can't hear over the rain.
True.
Makes a loud noise.
Yeah, but their farm was only a couple acres, so it's like mine.
Yeah, but
And
what was the roof made of? One.
yeah.
What was the house made of? Probably a log home or a brick home, both of which are fucking very soundproof.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
After he returned to the barn, Anton covered the young man with tons and tons of hay, and he then collected a smaller axe and a hammer. And Anton then lured the Deering family one by one into the barn. Yeah. So 8-year-old John was first. Anton lured him in by asking to help him with something in the barn. And once in the barn, he hit him with the smaller axe and then chopped at his throat.
How the I will never understand. Like, I don't understand how you can murder somebody, but like, especially a fucking kid.
Yeah. Well,
don't get me started on animals.
Like, he didn't do anything to animals.
I mean, like, pets.
No, I know.
You know what I know.
Yeah. So, and I don't know how he didn't have any blood on him, but I would think he would have some blood on him. So he went into the house and he asked Mrs. Deering to come and help him with a horse. So she followed him into the barn, and you can imagine what he did to her. And then he got 6-year-old Thomas to help him. And then 4-year-old Annie.
Oh my God.
Who was carrying 14-month-old Emma.
Oh my God.
Annie tried to protect herself. Little 4-year-old tried to protect herself, put her hand up, and he chopped fingers off and then killed her. And finally, he killed poor baby Emma. But it's not final. Anton did all of this between 9 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. because Mr. Deering left in the morning.
Yeah.
And then he came home at 1:30. He returned with his family friend / cousin, Elizabeth. And she went in the house with her belongings, and Anton caught Mr. Deering and said, "Hey, I need help with a sick animal. Can you come to the barn?" So they went to the barn.
Oh my God.
He attacked him with a hammer and then chopped him with the axe.
This guy.
Yeah, it's a doozy. Unfortunately, Miss Dolan was the last victim and was lured to the barn and murdered the same way. After everyone was murdered, he lined up the bodies in the barn and tossed hundreds of pounds of hay over top of them. So he lined them up, threw hay on them.
Dude.
But now was his time to go and collect and find all the money he thought was in the house.
Okay, but hold on. You just reminded me of a recent headline where there was a heart found at a salt processing place. They were, yeah, a human heart.
Mm.
And it was fully dehydrated in salt, in a salt barn.
Yeah.
Under salt.
That's weird.
Fucking what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
anyway.
Weird. So this is the crappy part. He murdered all of this family and the extras. He found less than $20 between the kids and the adults.
Wow, dude.
He also took a revolver and an old watch. He thought he could pawn those and make some extra money, but yeah, he just found not even $20. I think a few of the bills were also counterfeit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he then decided, well, I'm going to shave my face. Let me shave and get some clean clothes, and I'll get a snack and take a nap.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So he took that nap and he woke up. He decided to feed all the animals, and then he walked away from the farm as if nothing happened.
Interesting that he fed the animals before he left.
I thought it was very interesting too. So
nothing makes sense.
No. He didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. For the next several days, Anton lived on the streets and spent some time in the saloons drinking. He had a little tiny bit of money, so
why not?
He went and drank some beers or ales or whatever. The day after the murders, the Deering family's neighbors stopped by and found all of them in the barn dead. So neighbors told the police, and they said that there were two people not there, and Anton was one of them. And they said that they were looking for a Dutch man with a missing thumb.
Oh.
So they got his what do you call it?
Where he's from. His
origin wrong.
Origins
wrong. So police were looking for a Dutch man, but the one thing was that he had a missing thumb. They at least knew that.
Yeah.
Right. So with that information, police in Philadelphia were on the lookout. And on April 12th, 1866, Officer Dorsey found and arrested Anton at a saloon at 23rd and Market in the city.
Right on.
He didn't put up a fight, and then he just went, and that was 5 days. 5 days after.
That's all he made it, 5 days.
He made it 5 days, yep. Anton claimed his innocence, but during trial, the evidence was stacking against him. And the jury found him guilty after only 20 minutes of deliberation. So on May 1st, 1866, Anton Probst was found guilty of 8 counts of first-degree murder and was sentenced to death.
Good.
You die now.
He deserved it.
Before his execution, Anton broke down and confessed what he did and how he did it.
Oh, God.
So that's why we have all those details, because I think his lawyers convinced him, and his clergyman convinced him to
Yeah.
confess his crimes.
So he could go
Hmm
to heaven.
So he told them he was obsessed with the belief that the Deering family was rich and had loads of money. And his sole motive for murdering everyone was the money.
$20 fucking dollars. Wow.
Hmm
They're fucking rich.
Totally.
Good God.
Yeah. On June 8th, 1866, Anton was executed by hanging, and his last words were, can you guess?
I don't know.
God will forgive me.
Should have known that one was coming.
Hmm After his death, his corpse was donated to science. Dr. Howard Rand, along with some assistants, performed many experiments on Anton's body. Like they removed an eye because they had this belief that the last image he had was burned in his eye.
Interesting.
They did a few other ones. But once they were done, they gave him to the Jefferson Medical College for further examination. Now, the interesting fact is that students from that medical college completely removed and preserved his skeletal remains.
What?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Which went on display at the museum of the college. And that college is still in operation, and there's varying information on whether his skeleton is still there or not.
Okay.
So if anyone is listening knows, let us know if it's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, there is a side note. One of the children, the oldest, 10-year-old Willie, was away visiting the grandparents and survived the massacre. He was lucky,
but also like,
what a tragedy to find your entire family
he
obliterated.
lost his whole family. Like, that's so fucking sad.
I can only imagine the tragic story he had after that.
Yeah. Hopefully somebody took him, like grandparents or like an aunt.
He came from the grandparents, so I think he probably stayed with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it was a doozy.
Good God.
But that is the uncomfortable mass murder of the Deering family.
Whoa. I mean, yeah. It's just adding.
I think they're actually in a good mood right now.
To the intensity.
That's not them yelling at each other.
So we would know if they were yelling at each other. 3 girls, we know they're yelling at each other when they're yelling at each other.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
that's all I got.
Word up. What's your plan for tonight? I'm going to tacos. Yeah. Being a mom, I know you're momming and you're on call.
On call.
Yeah. You can't go very far.
So I'm just gonna drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah, good luck with that. At least you have a really cool mug to drink it out of.
I do. I do.
That's what matters. All right. Real quick for all of us weirdos. Just want to show everybody my new bunny.
Oh.
This is Numb Bunny. Yeah.
What's it from?
Gus Fink Studios.
Oh, yeah.
Find him on Instagram.
Nice.
I saw the bunny and I was like, I have to have one. So I got one and it's like so soft. Anyway.
No.
I love him. Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. Until next time. Ta-ta.
For now.
Thanks for listening to Crime, Coffee, and Crafts. If you love our podcast, please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. This helps us more than you know. If you really love us and want to support us, go to our website at www.crimecoffeeandcrafts.com. From there, you can join our Patreon, shop our merch, and find us on social media.